Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Stephen LeBlanc. I'm the Director of Dairy at Guelph, U of G's Center for Dairy Research and Innovation. It's my great pleasure to welcome you here to our biggest crowd ever for our annual Research Showcase event. So we're really happy to have you here and to have another year's worth of research activity and results to share with you. I'll tell you for a few minutes a little bit about Dairy at Guelph, a few of our highlights of news over the last couple of years, and then we'll get straight into the program. Just a couple of housekeeping items. The washrooms are just outside the door across the lobby straight in front of you, and during the breaks and lunchtime after you've had something to eat and to drink, please go across the lobby, take a left down the hall, and there's a smaller meeting room with a dozen research posters in it for additional information and a chance to interact with many of our grad students who have lots of interesting things to tell you about the research that they're working on over and above what you'll hear from the podium here today. Also, we'll be recording these presentations, so for your colleagues and friends who weren't able to join us today, in the next few weeks, recordings of all of these talks will be available on our YouTube channel. Dairy at Guelph is the Center for Dairy Research and Innovation. Our mission is to elevate the accomplishments of all the good work that's being done at University of Guelph by the many faculty, grad students, postdocs, and staff who are doing dairy research. Our moniker is Canada's Dairy University, and our vision is to be a global leader in research that helps maintain and promote a sustainable dairy industry, healthy animals with healthy food for healthy people. We are one of the largest communities of interest on the campus of University of Guelph and one of the largest centers of dairy research excellence in the world. We're really proud of that, and we want to continue to use that capacity to leverage those connections and continue to serve the dairy industry with excellent science. We're spread across almost the entire University of Guelph, certainly with a concentration in the OAC and OVC, but also with faculty in engineering, food science, economics, human health and nutrition, and many others as well. Our research spans from basic research in the lab, things that are a long way from application, but those are the seeds that need to be planted, sown, watered, and nurtured for research that will be over horizons 5 and 10 years down the track, and also research that's very applied. So we have a world-class dairy research facility just up the road from here that's heavily used. Collectively, we also do a lot of research out on commercial farms, including those owned and operated by some people in the room today. So thank you for that. We're very much about connections and collaborations, both among faculty, and part of our mission at Dairy at Guelph is to take advantage of, but work with that massive capacity and breadth that we have across the university. It's still not a rare event for people to say, I didn't know about so-and-so across campus who has skills, knowledge, machinery, and other capacity that would be really neat for us to get together and find synergies to do things that we couldn't do individually. So that's still part of what we do. Also a lot of outward connections with many of the people in this room and beyond, for both financial support, but also resources and coming up with ideas. And so days like today are not meant to be a one-way street. We're going to do a lot of the talking and tell you about all the cool things that have been going on and research that's ready to go in some cases for application, but it really is a two-way street to hear from you as well about what your needs are, what your information gaps are, what you see as needs for your business, your farm, your company in the years ahead, because that very much does inform and animate what we all do in research. So it's a two-way street. As good Canadians, we like not to boast, but I think I would be remiss if I didn't boast a little bit on behalf of some others. So on the theme of the partnership, just 2 weeks ago, the University of Guelph School of Engineering honored Dairy Farmers of Ontario with their Award of Excellence for the outstanding partnerships that DFO has had and continues to build. In this particular case with the School of Engineering, you'll hear about one of their related projects later today. But that's an example of a broader connection and a multi-year relationship that we're very grateful for. Toot our horn a little bit. We're Canada's dairy university and a global leader. The biggest dairy science meeting in the world is the American Dairy Science Association, which happens every year. We pretty well always have the biggest contingent of people there and number of scientific presentations, and that was true again this year. A tradition started a few years ago with this mugshot, including the fearless leader posed in, I guess, what's that, servant leadership, or I've fallen down and I can't get up, you decide. Also, a number of our researchers were honored with awards there for their accomplishments. You'll hear from a couple of them today. Dave Renaud and Mike Steele were inaugurated into the Journal of Dairy Science Club 100, which is people who've published over 100 papers in the flagship journal of dairy science in the world. Several grad students, most of whom are here in the room today, were also honored for their accomplishments in poster and oral presentations, and Trevor DeVries with the De Laval Award for Dairy Extension. We continue. This is an ongoing thing. This is in fact a new slide this year. It looks a lot like the one from last year and the one from the year before that and the year before that, because for all of those years, University of Guelph, in terms of scientific output, publications in the flagship journal of global dairy science, the Journal of Dairy Science, is the #1 contributor. So we really do punch above our weight. And yeah, we're proud to be ahead of some of these folks. And I can tell you from conversations after the sun's gone down over fermented beverages that it eats some of them, and that's great. Another one of our founding members, in fact, Dave Kelton, has been involved for many years with the International Dairy Federation. IDF just had their annual large conference in Santiago, Chile a few weeks ago, and at that meeting Dave was honored with the Leader Recognition Award from IDF, and so we're very pleased and proud of his accomplishments and contributions being recognized in that way. It's equally important for us to be connected with the end users of our work, so we have a number of events that we take part in over the year to make sure that we're getting out and about for those two-way conversations to let people know what we're up to and have been up to, but hear from farmers and industry professionals about what knowledge gaps and questions they have that we can and should be working on. So we have a presence at the CDX, at the Dairy Farmers of Ontario Annual General Meeting, at the Southwestern Ontario Dairy Symposium, including frequently people on the program as well as in the trade booths. We connect with our partners and funders, including about a month ago with a visit to Elora Dairy just up the road. That's to say the Ontario Dairy Research Centre at Elora. I'll learn to say that properly before I retire. But Heath MacDonald, the Federal Minister of Agriculture, was through for a tour, which we enjoyed very much, and got to show off both the facility and a number of our people who, again, Giselle Lapointe and some of her team were there, and had the pleasure of showing Minister MacDonald and our local Member of Parliament, Dominique O'Rourke, through the facility and made great connections with those folks. Last but not least, a couple weeks ago, we partnered with Alltech to do a Dairy at Guelph, University of Guelph campus screening of the World Without Cows documentary. In case any of you are worried about that, it asks the question, would the world be better off without cows? You can probably guess the answer to that, given that we sponsored the screening, but it's an excellent professionally made feature-length documentary, and if you get a chance to see it, I would highly recommend that. And we had a panel discussion afterwards with several Dairy at Guelph researchers, as well as Ben Loweth and Jen Howe from Summit Station Dairy, to talk about what both doing research in support of sustainability and how to engage with the public about that.